G'day to mate from Blokes. So, first video regarding my mental health journey. I think I started really allowing stress to hurt me physically and mentally probably in my late 30s, and moving into my 40s. That continuous stress, all those spiked cortisol levels were actually doing me a lot of harm. I didn't know it at the time, of course. I know more about it now, but it was my own fault. I basically worked in a stressful job, but I allowed the stress to get on top of me. I lost a couple of big contracts around that time, so it put extra pressure on me and my family financially, but I didn't really talk to my wife about it. Probably should have done, and she was always available to talk, and she always made that known. She's an awesome person. But for me, I think it was a bit of it's the way I grew up. I was a bit more scared of failure. Being the oldest son of 3 boys, I had this doubt, and I started building this fear, and it was all part of the stress that was happening at the time. So the stress was affecting me mentally, but it was affecting my sleep. It was even affecting the way I ate. Why, you ask? Well, because I was in a bit of a hole. I thought I just needed to work harder, and I was working harder, not necessarily smarter. And because of the hours that I was then spending behind a desk and pushing myself and not allowing myself to have a break, I just pushed and pushed. I started some bad eating habits. I was snacking more. I stopped movement. By that I mean I wasn't exercising as frequently as I used to. And we all know there's real proof around exercise and how that can help motivate you, can help you rest, and it can help your mind be in a better space. So a lot of the things that I was doing previous to that, I stopped doing. Now I convinced myself that this is what I had to do to get out of the hole that I was in. Unfortunately, it was leading to my downfall. It wasn't a massive downfall, but it was a wake-up call. And so these are the signs that some of you blokes might be seeing or feeling or experiencing right now. You feel like you're in the grip of a giant vice, and you've got 4 walls closing in all around you. You've got wonderful people around you, but you don't quite feel that you should be burdening them with the extra worry, whether that's financial, whether that's lack of work. Entrepreneurs will know what I'm talking about. If you're an owner of a business, if you're a single operator, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But probably one of the worst things that happened was that I was starting to move away from my family. I was disconnecting to my kids and to my wife, and I was so focused on work and getting money in to solve the problems. I was just creating this real massive problem for me. And in the beginning I didn't notice it, but as the years went on, I noticed that I was not handling stress and the pressures of my job very well at all. And it was affecting my I was having digestive issues, like I couldn't put 2 and 2 together. I didn't realise that was part of the stress thing. I didn't realise that continual raised cortisol levels absolutely destroys your gut health. I didn't realise that my testosterone levels naturally declining as I was aging. That was having a massive effect on my energy levels, my concentration, my clarity. And so there was more and more pent-up frustration occurring, and obviously this led to worse things down the track. So this first video is just to recognise those early signs and understand where you're at from a health perspective. If you're a guy leaving your 30s and going into your 40s and you haven't had a blood check, get your bloods done. They'll have some telltale signs there. For me, it was massive spiked high cholesterol and blood pressure through the roof. And my doctor said, you got to do this, you got to do this. And so, yeah, of course I did what most guys do. Yeah, I'll do that, doc, no problems. I'll take those tablets, I'll do this, do that. And of course, I didn't really heed that, and I didn't really take that. Now, I'm not saying that you need to get on medicine. I'm not saying that you don't have to get on medicine. Each person is different, and you need to understand your body and what it's requiring. But these signs were slowly bringing me undone and destroying me. And it wasn't until my early 40s that I started recognising the patterns of bad sleep, waking up in the middle of the night, waking up in the morning with that dread, with that fear of what the day holds. How am I going to get the money to pay this, and how am I going to get the money to pay that person? And all while I was doing that, I was getting more and more disconnected with my family, and I was becoming isolated that part I wasn't even aware of. That it just wasn't there. But of course my family was there, waiting for me. And when I had the fall, they were there to help me and support me. So look at those signs first, fellas. If you've got high blood pressure, if you've got spiking cholesterol, if you're starting not to sleep well, if you're losing your concentration in the afternoon, you're feeling like your energy is just being depleted day by day, and you're in a stressful situation, you need to start looking at that now and addressing that issue before it gets worse. It's not a big thing. It seems like a minor thing. You probably still think you're invincible, but I'm here to tell you that you're not. You're not invincible, and these things are slowly killing you. So my next video is going to be how that then manifested into a breakdown, and then what I did about it, and how I got out of it. Stay tuned, and fellas, if you haven't had your bloods checked, do it now. It's very important. You've got to know where you're at. It's no different to your finances. You've got a budget, you've got to know where you're at. It's the same with your health. If your bloods are coming back and you've got high cholesterol or high blood pressure, you need to get on top of it now before it gets worse. We can address the situation and stay in good health. Cheers, I'll speak to you soon. Bye.